welcome back to the channel. My name is Ryan, and I might just title this video, I'm a Tennessee fan, and then just go with that. Because I just want to talk as a Tennessee fan about things that I think a lot of Tennessee fans agree with and stuff that if you're not a Tennessee fan, or if you're not a fan of football or whatever, this is a good explanation of what Tennessee football is to Tennessee fans. Because I've been a Tennessee fan since the Joshua Dobbs age. It lets you know I'm 16. I'm a teen. I've not watched the Philip Fulmer ages of Tennessee football, which was the coach, I know in the 90s and the 2000s, the one that they won the national title in 1998. He was a head coach of for that. I was not a part of seeing those days. I did not remember Peyton Manning being on Tennessee because guess what? I wasn't alive yet. But for the parts I do remember, there was a lot of bad, but some good. So I want to give a little recap of, not recap, but just reminiscing some moments in my Tennessee experience of watching that has made me a fan, also made me hate the team and disband it for a little bit, then eventually come back. And there's one guy that made me disband from the team. And if you're a Tennessee fan, you understand this. I'll talk about that first, actually. I'll talk about what made me a fan. If you don't know, I'm from Tennessee. My dad is an Alabama fan, but my mom's a Tennessee fan. And that leads to a lot of fun little rivalry. Not fun at all. It's fun, actually. It's fun. It's just very much intense when it comes to Bama week. And one thing I learned at a young age more than anything is that you can love a Bama fan 364 days out of the week. But on the third Saturday of October, you hate them. You hate them more than your enemies at times because they become one of your enemies for that day. They can be a great person, but for that day, they made a poor decision. And yes, if you don't realize by the age, I might be saying my age, I've never watched a Tennessee game that they beat Alabama until Hendon Hooker. But I'll get to that later on. The first memory I've ever had of Tennessee was 2015. And this was when Tennessee played Florida. And oh my gosh, I learned to hate Florida because of this game. It was the Antonio Callaway game in Florida. 4th and 9. And I'm not going to have the videos pulled up, but I'll probably describe it well enough that you can understand it. You'll remember at least. Under 2 minutes to go in the game, the fourth quarter, it's 27-21. 4th and 9. Around midfield, a little bit behind midfield. I tell you this. Antonio Callaway, number 81 for the Florida Gators, catches the ball, like turns back, and then just loops around like two Tennessee guys that another Florida player takes out on a block. And then runs it in for a touchdown for like 60-something yards. It made me dislike Antonio Callaway so much. He's my least favorite Florida player ever, by far. Antonio Callaway. He got suspended the next year, too. It might have been the following year after. It might have been 2017, but he got suspended at one point for shoplifting or something like that. A couple teammates did. Something like that. It was weird. Great thing to see. And Tennessee had a chance to win. It was a 55-yard field goal. That ball was about this close to going in. This close to going in. Oh my gosh, it was. If the kick starts, I think from the left hash, it goes in. Oh my gosh. But what came from that year was another close game against Alabama. I don't really remember that one much. But a lot of Tennessee fans were upset about that one because Tennessee had a chance to actually win it. They were up by one at one point in the fourth quarter. Then they choked it, like every other Tennessee thing stuff. But the main positive memory that I have from this year is that Tennessee played Georgia. It was number 19th ranked Georgia versus Tennessee. And Joshua Dobbs led a 24-3 comeback against Georgia. One reason for that is because Nick Chubb had one of the nastiest injuries I've ever seen. Possibly in general, rather alone just live, that he snapped I think he tore his MCL, TCL, ACL, and something else in his knee. How? I don't know how, but he did it on the first play of the game. Then Joshua Dobbs led the comeback. They won 38-31. Oh my gosh, that was a great game to watch. To see everything, and that kind of made me more of a Tennessee fan. That made me a Tennessee fan. Made the ball rolling. The following year was the main year, 2016. Whenever Tennessee had that year, every game was close, and for the first half of the year, we were just winning all of them in the most incredible fashions possible. We were the comeback kids, I guess. That's the cardiac kids, whatever you want to say. Like, when Tennessee came back down 21-3 against Florida, that was amazing. That against Appleby, or whoever the dude for Florida, the quarterback was, that was amazing to see that happen. Watching Antonio Callaway lose was amazing. And mainly Josh Palmer, Jawan Jennings, who will become an absolute legend later on in the year, Alvin Kamara, and Joshua Dobbs. I think also Derek Barnett was on defense. This team was actually really good. If we had a better coaching staff and better play calling, like if they had Josh Heupel mix with this stuff, this team could have legitimately had like a 10-win year. And then you have the game against Georgia. This goes down as arguably the greatest play in the history of Tennessee football, just by fandom. Some fans believe this is the greatest play in the history of Tennessee football. This is arguably the greatest play in the history of my watching Tennessee football. I wouldn't say so. It's dang near tied for first, and you probably can guess what's number one. Jawan Jennings catches a Hail Mary on the last play of the game from Joshua Dobbs, and the most insane finish you'll ever see in college football. It was a great game, unbelievable game, and then, oh my gosh, what a finish. That was amazing. Shout out to Joshua Dobbs and Jawan Jennings. Thank you. After that year, Joshua Dobbs goes into the pros, but also later on earlier on that year, in that year, we're ranked 10th, we're ranked 8th, 9th, we're in the top 10, and we almost beat A&M. If we would have beat A&M, that would have just been absolutely ridiculous, because we had a guy from Tennessee, one of the best plays I've ever seen, hustle-wise. He knocked the ball out like the 2-yard line at the end zone, had the ball back, got to overtime, made it double overtime, but then lost. Yeah, tough game. And then we kind of just fell out throughout that year. This is whenever my fandom for Tennessee kind of dwindled a little bit. And that is the Jeremy Pruitt stage. That's not the main guy, though. Jarrett Garantano was the guy. Jarrett Garantano, oh my gosh, that is the worst college quarterback I have ever seen touch an SEC field. He couldn't do anything right. Like, every quarterback, like, they're talking about he's so good, he can't do anything wrong. He couldn't do anything right. I've never seen him make a good passing thing. That was a good pass. Never. He was so frustrating to watch. Year after year after year. Super painful. But right before the year before he was there, Tennessee had a very, very disappointing loss against Florida off of a Hail Mary of their own from Felipe Franks to, I think, Isaiah Cleveland, something like that. Off of like a 60-yard pass and no time left. How do you let him get behind it? And we were devastated. Tennessee broke my heart at a young age. Very much a young age. But that stuff happened. The Jarrett Garantano phase went through. We lost to Georgia State one year. Oh my gosh, that was probably rock bottom for Tennessee fans in the 2010s. That was rock bottom. The Bama sky high and stuff. I almost became a Georgia fan. I know. I almost did. That was before people really hated Georgia. A lot of people didn't hate Georgia at that time. People forget that. People were rooting for Georgia, but now they don't like them, including me. I'm not a fan of Georgia anymore. I despise them. But for that time period, I was like, you know what? This team's somewhat good. They're not winning like titles, but I'm enjoying them. But I didn't fully commit to Georgia. I never did. I was kind of just in the middle pack of stuff. And then Jeremy Pruitt got fired, and Josh Heupel came. Man, that was fun. Also, another game I want to mention after the Georgia State game, we had a game against BYU, which we allowed Zach Wilson on one play to get 70-something yards against BYU, and then Man, that's gonna be mad thinking about that. I saw that live. That was terrible. Oh my gosh. And Jericho talking about a play against Bama that he fumbled at the 1 when the run play was supposed to run was open. And then he lost. Oh my gosh, lost 41-0 against Georgia. Oh man, that was awful. Tough times. Tough times. But you have, let me get to this stuff now. The Heupel era. He came in. Joe Milton came. That was supposed to be the main guy. Then Joe Milton got hurt. Then Hendon Hooker took over. And we see flashes of stuff now. Okay. Keeping it close against Florida. Keeping it close against Bama. Keeping it close against Georgia. Okay. We're seeing some stuff. Close game against Ole Miss. So the mustard on the field. Like, we're keeping it close against teams. And then we're beating other teams by a lot. Like, okay, this is something. This is something. Then, boom. It skyrocketed in a way I've never seen before from it. Not often from a team. It's very rare. It went from here to here to here, all in 1 year. It was phenomenal. Hendon Hooker became a Tennessee legend. And, Jalen Hyatt, you had Cedric Tillman, you had Keaton, Ramel Keaton, you had Jabari Small, you had Jalen Wright, you had all those guys out there, led by Hendon Hooker. The offensive line was also great. Who was oh my gosh, Fant. That was the tight. That was the kind of the tight end thing. It was fullback too. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna hit myself for not remembering his first name. But yeah, that stuff, that made me a fan. That made me not a fan. That brought me back to loving Tennessee fully like I used to. I was still a fan during that time period. It's just brought me back fully. And that was amazing, being able to watch them beat LSU by a lot, beat Florida. That was amazing. And it was like, this might be the best we're out all year. And also, the main thing I realized about Tennessee that year was like, you know what, this team's different. So whenever we beat Pitt in that close game at Pittsburgh, when we beat them, it's like, we don't usually do this. We don't do that. We don't win games like this on the road, but we did, and it made a big difference. Think about a lot of confidence of the team that we didn't have. And then it went to Alabama, and then we had Bama, and Bama, oh my gosh, I was screaming. That was the most climatic drive ever. It was 49-42. Most climatic drive I've ever seen was that one. Oh man, that was, yeah, beautiful. But also it was beautiful. It's beautiful rewatching, but it's terrifying at the time. It's still terrifying kind of now. But knowing the end result, it's nice seeing that. That stuff happens. Then we absolutely roll Kentucky. Oh, we're number one. We're the best in the world. And then we get demolished by Georgia. Fudge. People, and if anyone says Tennessee was not thought to be that good, check the college football game day that day of Tennessee versus Georgia. And everyone on that panel, other than Luke Bryan, who was a Georgia native, picked Tennessee to win. Yeah, and that says a lot. Then after that game, we absolutely rolled Missouri and stuff like that afterwards. And then South Carolina happened. And I hope that Michigan actually gave them signals, because outside of that, there's no way to explain along 63 points. And then Hendon Hooker tore his ACL. That was, it's a friend's house when that happened. Oh, man. It hurt. That hurt. Hurt a lot. Yeah. That hurt. But, great year. And then we won the Orange Bowl with Joe Milton. And then this year, everything looking up. Everything like, okay, if this meshes well, maybe we can go 11-1. Maybe we can win a big game at one point against them. And Georgia versus Tennessee later on in the year, decide SEC East. No, it wasn't like that. The minimum for a lot of people were like 9-3, 8-4. We finished 8-4. But we have a bowl game. We can get 9 wins. That's still successful. It's still a pretty good year. But Florida watching Florida us losing to Florida was painful. Us losing to Alabama was heartbreaking. Beyond belief. Us losing to Missouri was tough, but I'm not mad about losing to Missouri. I kind of like Missouri a little bit. Not as much anymore, of course. And then Georgia was just expected. If you actually thought a legitimate chance against Georgia, like a really, really good chance, that was just your ignorant beliefs. Nice ignorant stuff. Nice ignorance, but still ignorance. But we had a lot of bright spots. Jalen Ryder got over 1,000 yards. Joe Milton had some nice plays. We got really hyped up early on in the year. We were going to rank in the top 25 throughout the whole thing. So it's nice thing that favorite moment from this year, going to my first Tennessee game. Playing against South Carolina. It was really good, that one. It was a night game. The dark uniforms. It was amazing to watch. Love it. Defense played great. Kamal Hadden had that pick six. It's the loudest I've ever heard a stadium in my life. Loudest I've ever heard anything in my life. Man, that was great to watch. And I hope this next year is even better. Hopefully, also, we got to take care of business against Nico. I'm going to take care of business against Iowa and stuff like that. So, yeah, won that one against the Cheez-It Bowl. And, yeah, I'm going to mention this, the last bit. Shout out Joshua Dobbs. You're great. Love you, man. And other thing is, I hate Florida. Florida can rot in hell for all I can care about. Florida Gators specifically. Alabama, you got a guy that's your head coach is one letter away from lastly being Satan, if that says enough. Don't like that. Don't like the guy. I mean, as a guy, he's cool, but as a coach, I hate him because, yeah, obvious reasons on why. And then Georgia keeps beating us by a lot. They beat us by over 13, like 6 years in a row. It's kind of annoying now. And now they have this full rolling against SEC East. Maybe we can do something next year. I don't know. But I hate Georgia. I hate Alabama. I despise with my whole heart Florida. Everyone else is fine. I mean, there's sometimes I just dislike certain teams. Like, I'm not a big fan of South Carolina. I'm not a big fan. I dislike A&M. But, like, I dislike Kentucky. But Florida, I hate. Alabama, I also hate a lot every day of the year. And I live in the South that it's Bama fans are just filled around here because it's the South part. And I'm in the South part of Tennessee. The Bama fans feed here. There's fans around here. It's not fun. It's not. And then you got Georgia fans around, the most cocky, arrogant people you're going to meet that have the weirdest backgrounds of anyone that are crazy. I mean, I've seen Georgia fans get on all fours and start barking at people. What's wrong with you? You ain't a furry. What's wrong with you? I don't understand that stuff. Why? I mean, we got our own chants. We got our own song. We're crazy. I mean, you like walking to the Tennessee game, half the people walking up there had like 6 packs of Bud Light and stuff. But that's fandom, not barking at people. What's wrong with you? You don't hear Bama fans don't make elephant noises. I mean, the Gators have their chomp, which I will never do in my life. Even the teacher like says, "Oh, make that Gator stuff." I ain't doing that. Like the Gator and sibling. No. I stopped that in 1st grade. No. I think you already know my stance about this stuff. But every Tennessee fan, if you like any of those 3 teams, God bless you. God bless you. You need it a lot. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you need it. Yeah. I hope you have a great year. Hope Bama loses. Hope Florida keeps going on their downfall. Hope Georgia doesn't win a national title. Does not win another national title. Yeah. I'm a hater when it comes to fans. I'm one of those. I am one of those. But every fan should be one of those, I feel like. If it's not your team, don't like them. Why? Why would you? Why would you? Unless if you just continuously beat them. I mean, like, I still dislike Kentucky, but we beat them every year, so yeah. But yeah, even with Jarek Artano, we were beating him. If we could beat you with Jarek Artano, we could beat you with a janitor from a local high school. I mean, we could beat you with me out there, man. So yeah. This is a long video, but it's a lot of stuff to talk about Tennessee. I can make a whole video just me talking about every single reason why I hate certain teams and stuff of that nature. But this is not a time and place for a whole video of that. So that's some of the stuff about being a fan of Tennessee. Put in the comments if it's like being a Tennessee fan of yourself. Anything else, just like being a Tennessee fan. So yeah, go Rocky Top, Tennessee. Home sweet home for me. Good old Rocky Top. Woo! Rocky Top, Tennessee. It's the most beautiful lyrics in the history of SEC football. Yeah, deal with it. So yeah, hope you have a great day. Stay safe, y'all. Have fun. Have fun watching bowl season and all that. And y'all, and also, yeah, Alabama, Dixieland Delight is about Tennessee, so letting you know that. Hope that doesn't piss any y'all off. Hope you have a great day. Stay safe, y'all, and God bless y'all.